Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm so excited for season 2 and the great guests you're going to hear from, their struggles, how they overcame their struggles, their triumphs. Through personal and business life, I think they're tied together, and we're going to share great stories about that. This show isn't just about me. It takes a lot of good people working with me. Among them is my partner, H7 Network, and Clay Hicks. Building relationships, building community is the mission of H7 Network. They want to create a network of champions where everybody wins. Find out more at h7network.com. And we hope to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you through our show. Enjoy the show. We'll talk to you on the other side. Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. And I've been talking to my guests before the show, and you're going to absolutely love her, because I do, but you're going to love her, what she's going to spit out. It's going to be incredible. Shelley, welcome to the show.
Steve, thank you so much. And I'm excited to share with your audience.
Well, I love what you do, and we've talked about it a lot, but let's talk about what got you to this point, kind of your background.
It's an interesting journey. And I'm borrowing this line from somebody else that said, I am my first client. I got into the very business based on my own needs for feeling good about having a voice and knowing that what I had to say was valuable and important to me first, and then sharing it with others. So the idea that I hid behind the scenes as a young costume designer, as opposed to being a actress on stage, which was my first dream, I had stage fright. So I stayed in the background as a costume designer. That led me to other design opportunities, but always behind the scenes, and getting into different aspects of marketing through design. Again, I was behind the scenes, but instead of clothing as my tools for expression, I was now using campaigns and words, and I was helping people learn how to present. But not me, until one day the keynote didn't show up, and it was me. They said, Shelley, you wrote this thing. You get out there and do it. Deer in headlights, deer in headlights. Well, I didn't completely fail, but I was a nervous wreck. And that helped me, or launched my journey as of my first client, saying, how can this, I got to get over this, because I didn't quite fail. So the part that didn't fail, how can I regain that? What happened? Why did it feel so cool? And how can I get over the part that didn't feel so good?
Mm-hmm. Well, I love that, because there's a lot of people out there that are the costume designers per se, not in the front line, not talking to people. They're very happy, but they want to do that. Now, being a costume designer is great, or that if you want to be in the background, there's a place for everybody that, but that person takes the leap. What's it take, like you did, to take that leap to be in front of the stage instead of being behind the stage?
I literally didn't have it. I was shoved out there. Yeah. The keynote did not show up. I was shoved out there. I didn't have time to think, to panic, to prepare, rehearse, nothing. All I did was I wrote it, so I knew it well. And I knew the topic and the objective of the presentation. But that nerve, the anxiety, the rush of adrenaline in my system, something clicked. And I just went into presentation mode. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but I was thinking, oh my gosh, how did that happen? That was the piece that stunned me, that said, okay, how did I pull it off, sort of? Yeah. It was not even preparing, but unprepared, if that makes sense.
So what I'm hearing is take action, no matter what the outcome, in a sense.
Exactly. If we just do it as Nike tells us to, we won't know if we don't try it.
Yeah. And that's what you do. You teach people to be better speakers, presenters in multiple different channels. Maybe it's a sales presentation, maybe it's a demo, maybe it's speaking to a crowd about a topic like a TEDx talk. You know, how important is that for people to know that and be better at that?
Well, it's hugely important, and not just at a TEDx talk, but the interesting thing is, whether you're at a TEDx talk, whether you're presenting to the CEO, whether you're pitching a new client, wherever you are, it is no different than talking to your friends, your family, or somebody in the market. It's all the same idea. If we reframe the whole thing and say, by communicating, I'm speaking to people, but I'm having a conversation. It's an engaging conversation. Even if you're on stage with millions of people, you're still engaging with them. So what's the differentiator there? A mindset to think that, oh my God, there's more people, I can't do this. But the truth is, underneath it all, public speaking, the definition is speaking in front, engaging in conversation between one or more people.
So you teach people with different audiences.
Absolutely.
It could be the sales guy presenting to his CEO, or it could be, me getting married, like I had a proposal 2 years ago. That's a speech too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Interesting. So you could help in all those areas in a sense.
Everything. But again, the mindset is it's all the same. It's no different than you're sitting down having a conversation. What elevates the anxiety? What made me so panicked when I was forced to present, but yet somehow I overcame it? So there's some mechanism within the body that's working. And understanding that made it easier, helped me make it easier for me to understand, gosh, I could talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime about anything.
Let's do a flyover with your business, kind of because we can't do it in a 20-25 minute podcast, but what is I'm a new client. What are you trying to accomplish with your business, your clients that come on with you?
My clients come to me with an objective. I need to do this pitch. I'm not good at communicating with my colleagues. Whatever their purpose is, their vision is, they come to me and I lean into that specifically. However, as I mentioned, the underlying theme, the root cause of why we feel we need help in these areas, why we feel we have a fear of these things, why the stakes are high and they're taking us down, goes back to the definition, a conversation, reframing where we are. So my goal is to help clients reframe so that they can best express themselves, and they'll walk away not only having improved on that particular sales pitch, but they could improve their speaking across many areas of their life. That is my core practice, to be fully self-expressed wherever and whenever.
So a client can come to you and talk about a sales presentation. You help them with that. And like say a month later, they call you, go, you know what? I just got asked to do a TEDx talk. I'm freaking out here, let's say. Then you just jump into that and you get the details and work off that, right?
Absolutely. But the byproduct of the first session brings so much more. They might even be able to prepare for that TED talk based on the byproduct is so many different areas of your life where you can improve your communications. But absolutely, clients are constantly repeating back for specific projects. They need honing in, they need special language, they need different approaches to things. So absolutely, but your byproduct is so much greater. There's aha moments. I didn't expect this. I hear that all the time from clients.
Mm-hmm. I like that. So you can really get them set up in those first sessions, whatever that goal is, but they've built some tools in that when the next thing happens, they're prepared. You're just there as a guidance, whatever they need. So you don't try to get them to keep spending money with you. Hey, you're a servant. And we'll jump into that. Let's jump into your servant's heart with your mission, with your business.
Well, the greatest communicators and orators of all time share something in common. We're compelled by their speeches because they moved us deeply. We all have that power, and it's speaking from the heart. It's talking from something you care about, you don't care about, you have meaning behind. And whether you care or don't care, that's a strong emotion. And you want to express that. So getting into that idea of being fully expressed, speaking from your heart, speaking from your truth, is really not only are you serving others and bringing great, you're almost doing a disservice to others if you're not speaking authentically from your heart. And that's the root of my coaching.
That can come from a negative conversation as well, meaning experience. Hey, this happened, but you can move them with the end result. Like, I was homeless, now I've got a multi-million-dollar business. That's something you're talking about as well.
Absolutely. Everybody has a story, and that's what makes us unique. So for example, I work with a lot of people on networking pitches, introductions, which whether you're in a networking group, whether you're meeting a client for the first time, whether you're meeting a date or meeting somebody at a restaurant at dinner, you can come in there with the approach that, hey, I'm Shelley, I'm a speaking coach. Well, how many public speaking coaches are out there? But what makes me unique and different is my experiences, my story, my journey that I mentioned in the beginning. My experience makes it unique. We all have that. And if we lean into those ideas, I mean, try, and I work with clients on this, try to do an introduction and not mention the title of what you do. Talk about why you do it and how you move people. Not only will people know what you do, they'll figure it out, but they'll remember it because no one else is talking that way.
And this is more important than ever because so many virtual meetings we go to and in person are coming back. There are more and more now.
We feel compelled to use a template because that's the way it's been done. And that's fine, but it's not the only way it can be done.
I love not using your title because it doesn't really matter, does it?
Of course not. Who's going to remember anyway?
Yeah, your president, vice president, co-founder, doesn't matter. This is XYZ company and this is our mission. How long should those people call them elevator pitches? How long do you think they should be?
They could be 30 seconds because at the end of the day, no one's going to do business with you because you're a lawyer. They're going to do business with you because they trust you and they learn your character. And that story, that unique journey that I shared in the beginning as well, is my expression. And it's up to you, the listener, to say, wow, she sounds like a trusting person, or she sounds maybe compassionate or heartfelt, or she gets me. I'm telling you more about my journey and less about what I do. It's more of why I'm doing it. And Simon Sinek talks about the why all the time, but there's a reason for it.
Isn't it a great disqualifier too? And this is a positive thing, that when you do this story, that you don't want people coming to you, they're not going to be a fit for you, that will disqualify them from working with you. So it filters through these people, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Do I like you? Do I want to do business with you?
Yeah.
Do I trust you? Do I want to have a conversation with you? Do I want to be your friend? I mean, you talked about a marriage proposal. Well, typically we would date and get to know each other before somebody would say, spend the rest of your life with me. Now, some people know it instantly, absolutely. And sometimes it doesn't work out, but dating, having that process, engagement, understanding who the person is before you make that commitment, is the same thing in business. I'm going to hand my money over to you. How do I know the kind of being you are? Are you a good leader? Are you honest? How's your thinking process? Are you a problem solver? And understanding that, you can understand how that person might be able to help you before you even hire them, and the reason why you hire them.
Brilliant, because there's so many scams out there now. It's a plethora with COVID and everything, economics, and scams have been here forever, but I think there's more of them, and that's what people are kind of pushing back, and that's where this elevator pitch or this 30 seconds so important, right?
Well, for that,
yeah,
absolutely. But even if you're an honest person and you're not a scam and you're not sharing that information, your story, you're not giving yourself a chance. You're not serving people in a way that you can. You're doing a disservice by not sharing that, even as an honest person. So story goes a long way.
That's so awesome. That's why I love having you on here. It's so simple, but it's not being done. And that's what you do, is to make sure it's getting done with your clients. You have a great client story you can share with us?
Absolutely. There's many, many.
Mm.
One I'll share with you is a young woman who was looking for a job. She could not land an interview. Her uncle, who was very involved with her upbringing, called me and said, I would love you to coach her, but she's got a learning disability.
Mm.
I said, oh, well, let me speak to her. And I spoke to the young woman, and she said, I just blank out at interviews. They ask me questions. I fall short of what to say. I don't think what I have to say is important. And I went back to her uncle and I said, I can't diagnose and treat her for her disability, but I can help her find her voice. And I work with this young woman in my program, and she got 1 interview. She got 3 interviews, and she landed a job. And it had nothing to do with anything but her speaking her voice and showing them who she is. She's a zoologist, so sharing her stories and love of animals, they knew what kind of caretaker she was going to be.
That's a great story. A lot of people are in that boat where I do interviews and I just don't know what to say. I get nervous, especially if you don't have a job. You haven't had a job for 6 months or 8 months. They put everything on this one interview and you're like, no, oh my God. As I think about it, that's incredible. And it didn't take long, I think, to turn that switch, did it, for her?
It did not. It's a belief mechanism. We have to really trust and believe that what we're saying, that I had to believe that my words are true to me. It's not what I think. It's what other people are responding to. That's the outside voice saying, wow, there is something there, that belief.
I like that, because belief and habits and all that is part of mindset. But if you don't bring it into your speaking, whatever that is, it just doesn't work, right? Because I think that's the finality of all what you do is, now I'm putting it out there to the public, to the world, or to the private, whatever it may be. And there's massive growth in that, isn't there?
Absolutely. I mean, we're hearing so much about Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Now, I love AI. I love the idea of it. I think there's some amazing things. There's also some scary things, true. But what's interesting about AI, and why many of us I hear over and over again, it's not human. It's like a robot. It's da 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 da. So if we can identify that, there's more opportunities for us to be human in our own speaking. Let's show the difference between the Chat GPT and the human by expressing those human stories, by this young woman, this young zoologist expressing her funny stories about feeding the flamingos and giving them all different names and personalities. That lively story, that beautiful scenario, is what the organization is hiring, not bullet points on your resume, not the Chat GPT, robotic discussion.
You're getting me excited here, Shelley, because what just came to me was she moved them, like you said earlier. All it was, her stories moved them to go, we want to work with her because we feel something in the heart. Oh my God. A light bulb just like takes me a little while, so I apologize.
Yeah.
But I love that. You've dropped a ton of golden nuggets so far. Can you do a shout out how people can get a hold of you?
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I do a lot of posting on LinkedIn, Shelley Goldstein at LinkedIn, videos and things of that nature. Remarkable Speaking is my company and website. And I have a partner coach, Mark Bossert. The two of us work together a lot. And we also have a YouTube channel, Remarkable Speaking on YouTube. Again, you can find a lot of our videos, listen to what we have to say, share our stories, and see how they work for you.
That's great. I'll be in the show notes too if you didn't get this, or go back and listen to this again and get these golden nuggets. I mean, hey, she's not charging you. She should be. She should be charging me, but she's not, because she's a servant's heart. And I'm so excited about what you're doing, because I knew what you do. Now I know deeper. Can I do something crazy?
Absolutely, Steve. I love crazy.
First 3 people that reach out to Shelley, I'm going to send you a gift. So Shelley mentioned, when you reach out to Shelley, mention the podcast or my name or both.
Oh, wow.
And she'll let me know, and I'm going to mail you a gift for reaching out to them, because I want you to for many reasons, but one, we all have to speak. Just we do. I'm a podcast host. We have to. So I want to reward people. And if you're not the first three, still reach out. It's just, I want to get the engines going, but still reach out to her. You got her contact info. How you and Mark work together? How's that part of your business? Let's talk about your partner.
We bring two different perspectives. So the great advantage of working with us, and by the way, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to speak. We get to speak. It's permission-based, and we'll drive that home, right? Mark and I bring in a very unique perspective, a yin and yang, if you will, which really helps the client see things from a real perspective of what's going on in the world. There's many different opinions. There's many different approaches. So you get two coaches in the sessions, and we work in small groups, one-on-one, but also pods of 6. And when we're in pods of 6, it's big enough to have an audience to feel the pressure and small enough to get really intensive coaching. So it's a magical number.
That's beautiful. I know, Mark, you've said great things about him. I love collaboration.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be male, female, but that's kind of cool too. You get a male perspective and a female perspective. You may have done that purposely, doesn't matter, but I love that. Another reason to reach out to you. So we're running out of time here, but I want to ask you, give me a definition of a servant's heart.
One who gives unconditionally for the betterment of others.
I knew you'd give me a good answer, and I'm going to steal that. Well, I'll borrow it. I don't steal. I borrow. That's not a
anytime, please.
Servant's heart. Well, I want to thank you so much, Shelley. You know your stuff, and you really help people. I know you help many people, and an audience out there. Please reach out to her. I'm going to get on my knees and beg if I have to, because she does it with such care, and Mark does as well. That's who I want you to work with in my audience, people that really care, because you're going to get something done. But you know the best part about it? You're going to be a better person. And that's our goal every day. If we can make me and you, Shelley, can make the world a little better, eventually it's going to be a better place, because we know it needs to be better. So with that being said, can I ask one more favor of you? Because you just give me so many great favors.
Of course. For you.
Can you leave? Oh, you're awesome. See, that's why she's on my show. I love her. Can you give my audience a piece of advice through your journey, all this from the costume design to where you are now, that's really helped you, that can help them in their journey?
It takes more work to hold back. And it's actually more freeing and liberating to be messy, to share your vision, share your dreams, and don't hold back and wait for perfection, because it's not attainable. Just be messy and have fun.